say then that the process of starting a documentary began while meanwhile he's beginning this phenomenon as becoming Mr. Brainwash? Is that
yeah, I mean, it was absolutely crazy. We were going through all those original tapes, trying to suss out the story, what the chronology was of all this stuff, and really evaluating whether there was a narrative, a film that we could make out of it. And at the same time, Banksy had said, look, you know, he's going to be doing this little show over in LA. It's probably worth getting some people, you know, do we know anyone that can cover that? And in the end, Jamie went over and left me in the cutting room sifting through all this stuff with a couple of assistants. And then he rang me and said, you're just not going to believe what's going on now. You are not, the little show is not little. And curious, I mean, it could have gone either way. And at that stage, we didn't know if the tapes themselves were going to give a film, and we didn't know if Terry's show was going to be anything. You know, it could have been a completely damp squib. No one could have turned up, and who knows what it would have turned out like. I mean, as it is, we were gifted with an amazing, and we knew then that we did have the end to the film, and that it was a film that was going to have a rich, subversive kind of scene that would run through it. But yeah, I mean, it would all happen at the same time. I mean, in fact, it was all like that, because once we'd worked out the chronology, and once we'd looked at a lot of the tapes, we picked up clues, and we began to put together a kind of list of questions that we obviously had to put to Terry and to Banksy. He would have to kind of leave the cutting room and be an interviewee, incredibly reluctantly, and Shepard and Deborah and so on. And I think it was on a pickup interview, probably 7 months into the edit, when we were asking Terry on the second round of interviews about things, that he suddenly said that he never watched his tapes and that he put them in boxes. And our jaws dropped. We couldn't believe it, and it fundamentally transformed the film. And we suddenly realised that we'd seen that footage of him sifting through boxes and hadn't just dismissed it, made a note, Terry looking through tape boxes, but didn't realise the significance of it. So, I mean, it was incredibly organic as it went along, yeah. And it just suddenly came together in the last 6 months or so, because it was about over a year and a half. So.